Hey, this is Mike. Check out this 2015 Dodge Challenger SXT Plus. Now this is a V6, and I know what you're thinking, but it is definitely an awesome car. The V6 has 300 horsepower, and paired with the 8-speed torque flight transmission, it's just an awesome vehicle, and it gets 30 miles per gallon on the highway. So I mean, you've got a muscle car with good gas mileage, and so I really like the V6 in these cars. One of the best things about this car, I mean, I really like the black, the pitch black color, but it has a black interior with the black exterior, really shiny, just got cleaned up, and I really like this wheels with this this color, and it's an all aluminum wheel. It's an aluminum alloy wheel with the graphite insert. I wouldn't say inserts, but it has like this graphite color here with the polished aluminum. Definitely looks good on this car. Yep, see up here we've got the projector headlights as well as fog lights, the high beam and the low beam. And let's see if I'm gonna go ahead and push the lock button just so you can see what maybe see a little bit of what the lights look like. You can check out my video 2015 Dodge Challenger at night, so you can see kind of what it looks like on the inside and outside the Challenger, because it has a really interesting look with halos around the headlights, as well as a split LED rear tail lights. I'm going to push the button again, maybe you can see. It's hard to see because of the sun, but anyway, you can check out that video. So this has the proximity key, so I'm just going to put the key in my pocket, and it's got the backup camera here, but you can push this little button here. Since I have the key in my pocket, I can access the trunk. It's got plenty of room back here. Those back seats do fold down, so in case you need some more room. Also, let me lift this up too as well. This is where you'll find your spare tire. Now, some of these cars don't have a spare tire, so you definitely want to check to see if you have one, if you want one. Some of them have the speakers in here, some of them just have storage space, but just kind of, if you're in the market for a Challenger, make sure, or any new vehicle really, you want to make sure that the vehicle comes with a spare tire, if you want one. Here's the fuel cap, retro look. Tinted glass would look really awesome in this car. Has heated side mirrors, so you can tell by that little symbol there. And here's the inside of the front door. Now this one has a Sound Group 2 sound system, and getting a little bit of glare from the sun, but it's got some stitching here. You got your window controls, door lock controls, and side mirror controls. Bottle holder there. Sound Group 2 Alpine sound system. Sounds really good. The subwoofer is just below the back glass back there. You can't see it from either side, or I would show it to you, but got automatic headlights, some power controls on the seat. In order to lift the seat up, kind of have to, it's a manual thing. But back here, here's the back seat. You have the leather seats with the perforated leather in the middle. Now, it's not a huge amount of legroom, if any legroom, back here when the seats are all the way back. It does have some vents there. really comfortable seats, and it's not the type of leather that kind of grips. You can kind of slide around it on easy, pretty easy, which I like. That's my favorite thing about leather seats, is that you can slide around and get comfortable. Alright, so the sun's like right in my face, so I'm going to reposition the vehicle. Now, to start it, you put your foot on the brake, the bright pedals, by the way, and push the button. Since I have the key in the vehicle, I can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in drive and just kind of swing it around. There we go. I just pull it up. That building blocks the sun, so we're good to go. Alright, so here's the steering wheel. It has electronic control, and it tilts up and down, as well as it's a telescoper too. It's leather wrapped, has these little grips right here and there. Has a round bottom. You have your cruise controls on that side. On the back you have a volume control. On the other side you can change to the stations on the back of the steering wheel. Here's your Bluetooth, where you can answer and hang up your phone. Voice recognition, you can go to a certain station, you can call somebody, stuff like that on the voice recognition. There's the gauges. Now they have like a retro style. I'm going to get a little closer here so you can see that the gauges have a little bit of a concave look to them to give them like a retro look. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks pretty cool. Now it has a center screen right here, and that's controlled with these buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. And I'm just gonna, right now it's in a speedometer menu system, speedometer, so I'm gonna scroll down. This is the vehicle info, and I can kind of cycle through that using the right arrow, get different information, tire pressure, stuff like that. So I'm going to scroll back down. Now this is the performance. It has a braking distance, and it has a 0 to 60 mile per hour timer. So pretty cool. Fuel economy, of course that's skewed because the vehicle only has a few miles on it, but this is where you would be able to get your average as well as your current and your range, like how many more miles can you drive before putting gas in the car. Trip info, there's your trip A, trip B. Scrolling down again reveals the audio, whatever your radio is doing. Messages will be stored there, and your screen setup, this is where you can go in and change what you want on the screen. Like say, you notice that little light popped up there, upper left, upper right. You can change what you want to put there. Like say upper right, I'm going to push the right arrow and click OK, and right now it's showing outside temperature, but I can change that to compass if I want to, or I can change it to the time, range, whichever I want. Average miles per gallon, current miles per gallon, trip, or none. Compass, I'm going to put it back to outside temperature. Alright, so that's, just going to give you an idea that there's some customization here in your gear display, in your menu system. The way this screen is, you can set it up the way you want. Scrolling back down, goes back to the speedometer. And the buttons I was pushing right there is right here, your OK, and your arrows. That corresponds with that menu system. Your wipers are on this side. You do have a trunk release there, as well as some dimmer switches. One is for your gauges and your screen. The other one is to kind of fine-tune the ambient light in the vehicle. Those dimmer switches here is what I'm talking about. You have automatic headlights like I mentioned before, and then you push this button in order to turn on the fog lights. Alright, moving on to the touch screen. This is the 8.4 Uconnect system. You can upgrade it to have navigation if you wanted to. There is a charge for that. Right now we're in a net radio. It has AM, FM, and satellite radio. The satellite radio is for 1 year free with a new vehicle. And go in here to media. This is where you have your USB, auxiliary, Bluetooth, and SD card inputs, which I'll show you those in a second. But that's where you will control those. You can plug in your device and play music off of that. Controls. This vehicle has heated and ventilated seats as well as a heated steering wheel. This is where you'll control those. Also, your rear view mirror is auto dim rear view mirror, so you can turn that on and off there. Settings, you can go in there and kind of set certain things like how you want the doors to unlock, things like that. I'm just going to push that just so you can kind of see what there is there. There's a lot of stuff. Alright, now moving on to climate. The climate control's off, so I'm going to turn that back on. And see, I can adjust the fan speed, where I want the air to blow. I can adjust the temperature on both sides. I can also sync the temperature for both sides. So that's where your climate would be. Phone, this is where, once you pair your Bluetooth phone, you'll have your phone book, recent calls, you'll be able to dial. You'll have some favorites there at the top, and you can send and receive phone calls here. Now, if you're in a phone call and you want to transfer it back to your cell phone for privacy, you can hit the transfer button. Here in the Uconnect apps, this requires a registration, but you know, you can have a Wi-Fi hotspot and stuff like that. And I'm gonna go right here to show you where it says via mobile. Some of these apps use your data on your cell phone, so if you have a limited data pack, then you kind of want to make sure that you pay attention to those. Alright, there's your start button. Now, if you just want to listen to the radio, you can push, without starting the engine, you can leave your foot off the brake, push that button, and it'll turn just the electronics on. Pushing the brake and holding it while pushing the button starts the engine. Now here's your volume control, another button for that, and tune through the stations. Now the sport mode, if you push that, this little green flag appears up here on your screen, and basically that's telling the car that you want to focus more on performance than fuel economy. So that's basically what that is for. And this is your parking sensors. You can turn those off if you want to. Basically, if you put it in reverse, which I'm going to go ahead and do now, put it in reverse, not only do you have your backup camera show up here, but also your parking sensors on the back of the vehicle. So if I back up to something, it's going to start beeping at me if I get too close, so make sure I don't hit it. And I can see here in the backup camera what I'm about to hit. Now, if you know you're going to get close to something and you're just tired of the beeping, you can turn the beeping off. And once you turn it off, it says Park Sense off. And that way you know that it's off. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back in park. And then the backup camera goes away. You have some redundant buttons here for your climate control. It's basically the same as in the screen, except for you have actual controls. And now the shifter, now I've showed you shifter on putting it in reverse. Now, it's just like a normal shifter, reverse, neutral, and then drive. And then now that I'm in drive, I can slide it over like that. And then you see where the M lights up. And then you see the M lights up here. Now, I can use it like a ratchet shifter and bump it forward and back, just like a ratchet shifter. And when I do that, I'm changing through the gears. And you can see on the screen that I'm, changing through the gears. Now, it's not going to let me just cycle through 8 gears. Like right now, I'm going to pull it down, go to first, second, and then that's it. It won't let me start off in second gear. So it's not going to let you like mess up the transmission. It's just a suggestion when you're driving. Now, if you're driving normally and you're staying within a certain range, it'll let you cycle through just like a manual transmission. And slide it to the right and then put it back in park. Pretty cool shifter. It's very comfortable, and it kind of reminds me of the old T-handle shifter, ratchet shifter type thing, just a modern version of that. You got a little pocket there, cup holders here, and they do have some ambient light. You should see them at nighttime. Check out my nighttime video. And then you've got like this, looks like a carbon fiber type stuff here. Look around the edge, and I like this part right here. It kind of looks like the 71 Challenger. Alright, this lifts up, and this is where the auxiliary input, USB and SD card inputs are for your radio. So you can plug stuff in there. And you got your Dodge Brothers symbol there, and this is a felt line pocket, so you can put stuff in there as well. See if you can see that. Lockable glove compartment. Now you've got a felt line compartment here, as well as some like little shelves in there as well. Usually it put the owner's manual up in the top part. Auto dim rear view mirror, like I was saying before. Now it has a 911 button here and an assistance button there. That's where you push your assistance button and you can register your Uconnect system just by talking to somebody over the phone through the car. Garage door controls are here. Tap lights are there. Place right here to put your sunglasses. The visors have mirrors and lights, as well as like a little slider thing to give you a little bit extra, block the sun. Now let's check out the window sticker. It's a Challenger SXT Plus. $30 miles per gallon. And this is a really strong, powerful engine, and the transmission just makes it that much better. It's not a slow car at all, especially for its size. You got a charger and a pocket on this side. All right, let's take a look under the hood. .6 liter VVT, variable valve timing. That gives you the gas mileage and the performance at the same time. I wish they would like not have plastic covers on top of engines. It just kind of, it's one of my, I don't really care for that because it takes away from the whole point of popping the hood. But anyway, if you have any questions or anything, let me know in the comments. Also, my email address is in the description in case you want to contact me. I really like the new 2015 style Challenger. It's one of my favorite cars. All right, see you next time.